this XP loop that I'm about to show you requires no combat, and it also gives you over 18,000 haze per 10 minutes about. So I'm going to show you how to get here. I'm going to show you the run. I'm going to show you how much XP it can get you. And I'm also going to talk about how quickly you can level up your early game blood codes here. This is a really good place to come level up your blood codes. Please don't forget to give me a like, subscribe, leave me a comment telling me how much you hate it, or better yet, tell me what kind of videos you're looking for in Code Vein. Okay, so first things first, this is not on Magpel Island. So if you haven't completed Magpel Island yet, you should finish Magpel Island. So if you're on a fight where on Magpel Island that's kind of keeping you stuck there because you're worried about missing it or not, there's a certain fight that it gives you a choice. You can do it or not do it. And you might think if you walk away, you won't be able to do it again, but you can go back and do it. So don't worry about that. If you're having a hard time with it and you need some XP, this is a great place to go. Getting here is very easy. So if you don't want any spoilers past Magpel Island, click off the video now. Okay, I'm going to assume that you are okay with spoilers. So right when you get off Magpel Island, the first area you go to is called the Sunken City. So this is a really early game. Once you enter the Sunken City, you just go straight until you wind up at this clock tower. This clock tower is a very early game monument that you'll find once you're off Magpel Island. So once you've found this clock tower, it's very easy to get to where we're going. So we're going to face to the east, which is where we just came from to get to this monument. And we are going to just turn left on this road right here, this little side road. And we are just going to follow it pretty much all the way to our objective. If you know, that is a dungeon right there to our right that we're passing. Okay, so you're going to keep driving until you see this gold fort sign. And I jumped off my bike for some reason, so let me get back on. Okay, you're going to pass the gold fort sign. I want to cut that out of the video, but I also want it to be continuous, so... I don't know. Okay. And where you're going is actually right there. You could have turned right there, but I'm just going to go up and over this hill. And here is the dungeon. Let me show you on the map. It is right here, and it is called the Mountain Underground Facility. Insert elevator music. So once you get off the elevator, it's going to be a pretty straightforward route. And you can explore the dungeon or you can skip a lot of it. There are some enemies that we have to fight, but you actually can skip a lot of these guys. I'm going to skip as many as I can just to kind of show that you can skip them, but you can also stop and fight them. If they're a little bit too difficult for where you're at in the game, just ignore them. So right here, what we're going to do is we're going to cut hard right to not aggro the big guy right there. So the only goal there was not to aggro that big guy that was right there. And right here is actually the farm that we're going to be doing. But we're going to run past it and we're going to jump across. And this will actually be where your map gets updated too. Your map, little map goblin will be right in here. We jump across here, jump across here. Okay, so it'll say you cannot rest while under threat. But basically when you get all the way up here, you'll be able to hit this mistle. Now you can kill a couple of those things we just had, or you can just wait it out. I'm just going to wait it out. Okay, so that didn't take too long for mine to reset, so I'm just going to go ahead, rest at the mistle. And this is where the XP farm starts. And again, this is a no combat XP farm. So you're just going to run out and jump down onto these stairs and just run straight across. And the key here is you have these two exploded guys. You want to run up to them. And then I like to target one and then pull my shield out. And there we go. No combat. And you get 900 XP. So to level up the blood codes, it took me 7 runs to do an E rank blood code of max. And it took me 8 runs to do a D rank to max. And then I can't do the C ranks up yet. Either these enemies aren't strong enough or I'm not far enough in the game. But basically, right there is, all my E and D ranks up. My suggestion on which blood code you should level up first. And if you don't want any spoilers, you don't have all the blood codes that I have, which isn't very many, they're just the beginner ones, then click off the video. But the one that I suggest leveling up first is actually Lavina's blood code. Lavina? Lady Lavina? She's the really tall lady back at camp. And basically, you just want to level up the E rank blood code, and then you're going to fast travel back to where she is, talk to her, she'll give you her next blood code, and then you're going to level that one up too. And when you level up both of those blood codes, you're going to get a booster that is called the Blood Code Mastery Efficiency. And this is going to make it easier for you to master blood codes. So I just said it took 7 runs and 8 runs to level up E and D, and that's already really fast. But with this blood code, if you master this one first, then you'll be able to, use this to go a little bit quicker. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit a 5-minute timer, and I'm just going to see how much essence I get, or haze I get. So I have 5,839 right now, and I'll also be explaining a couple tips and stuff while I'm running through here. One of my favorite things about these little explodey guys is actually they protect you from them. So I like to stop here in the middle of the room and then kind of do this and back up. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to get the guy in the back to run towards you and be close enough to get blown up by these explodey boys. Now, sometimes the explodey boys won't kill each other. Like if one's exploding and the other one's already kind of like priming up the attack to explode, he actually won't kill the other explodey guy. But the explodey guys are really easy to kill, obviously, just like let them explode. So they explode when their arms come in. So let's go ahead and look at this guy. And when his arms collapse in, so right there, he's going to explode. And then sometimes this guy is still here. So you can just, he's really not that hard to take out. But if you don't want to, you can just avoid him and keep running through and just jump across and let him de-aggro on you. But you really, nobody should really have a problem with that guy. He's a little bit easier now just because I'm so much higher level than this at this point. But you can see how many times I've done this too if you just look at, I mean, that's nothing. Those loops, I had way more lines earlier. So coming in here, I like to run to the middle. I like to aggro or target one of them and then just kind of back up. Now you can see right here, they both exploded and he again wasn't in there. And part of the reason for that is I was backing up too slowly. So let me kind of give another example. And just sometimes he doesn't get in it, but you can make it where he gets in it most of the time. So I like to go to the middle, and then instead of holding my shield out and backing up, you've got to trigger his sprint. That's the big key here, is you need to trigger his sprint, which seems to be you have to get a certain distance away from him. But you also, what you don't want to do is you don't want to run through them to him. I've done that a bunch too, and basically found that I take a lot of damage that way and it takes longer. So drawing them back has been the primary way that I've seen this work really well. And sprinting is also kind of bad. So I like to sprint up and then I like to kind of slow down when I'm backing up. And then I like to, I'll pull my shield out. And I'll show you something funny with the shield on the next run. But if you actually let the exploding guys hit your shield, they'll knock you out of harm's way. Like their own exploding attack, if you're blocking with a shield, protects you from their exploding attack. It's so funny. I'm going to do it right here. So basically when their arms come in to reach for you, which is when they explode, that knocks you out of the way of their explosion radius. I'm going to stand right here just to do it. So he's going to reach in and hit me, and he threw me. I got thrown into the second one's explosion radius, but I was outside the first one's explosion radius, the one that actually hit me from the right. So I just think that's hilarious. Once I'm done in another 2 minutes, I'm also going to look at like all the extra items you get and how much haze you can sell them for, because you do not need all the items you'll be getting. Especially, you'll get a lot of drops of that guy's sword, and you can sell all those very easily. So again, I like to get to the middle and then just kind of back up without my shield out, then put my shield up. And then see if you get the reason I don't sprint away, if you get too far away, they actually won't trigger their explosion either. So that's another thing that you have to look at. You have to make sure he sprints to you, so you got to get far enough away from that. And you also need to make sure that they actually trigger their explosion within a reasonable time frame, so you don't get hit by the explosion and he does get hit by the explosion without doing like a lot of damage to you. So see, they're triggering it way too early because I was walking backwards with my shield. And the thing about this run is I'm actually going to have a lot less haze than I would have if it went perfect. Because I'm talking and stuff, I'm a little distracted. So I haven't been doing like perfectly on all of these, but that's okay. It just adds like a very minimal amount of time on. But I ended up using this method to like buy. I leveled up my blood codes that I wasn't using primarily. So I've been focusing on my magic blood code. And so this was a really good way to level up the secondary blood codes that I don't really want to use that much, but I also want to get maxed out pretty early, just to, for one, to get their boosters, and then two, just to see like what they enhanced later and stuff, kind of what made them better. But it was a lot about the boosters. So we got time for one more loop through here. I probably could have fit in maybe one more, maybe even two more loops into this 5 minutes, but I'm not gonna. Yeah, he's not gonna get in those. Oh, he did. So sometimes, even if it's really late, sometimes you can see he started sprinting there at the very end. If you can even get him to start sprinting towards the very end, you'll do really well. Okay, I started with 5,839 haze, and I ended up with 14,839. That's 9,000 haze in 5 minutes. Could have got in probably 2 more runs if I wasn't messing up so much. But yeah, so that's 18,000 haze kind of minimum every 10 minutes. While you're doing this run, you're gonna get a lot of these hearts, the fangs, the eyes, and the brains of the exiled bloodkin. You're also gonna get quite a few of these moonstones and lost broadswords. The lost broadswords sell for 100 haze apiece. I ended up getting 10 of them and sold 9 of them, so 900 haze, whatever, not that big a deal. All of these only sell for between 10 to 20 haze, so these don't sell for very much, but they are used in crafting. I doubt you'll ever need this many though, but those are the items you get from this little run. Now I am actively looking for the next XP farm and better XP farms. I like this one because it doesn't require combat. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're having a good time with Code Vein 2.